Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to Programmable Logic Controllers Session 3. In the last session, we have discussed about the different types of ROM, read-only memory, flash memory, cache memory, optical storage devices, registers, and the different types of registers. In this session, let us discuss about the microprocessor, different types of buses, and the architecture of a microprocessor. So, a microprocessor is an integrated circuit which is going to incorporate the core functions of a computer's central processing unit or the CPU. A microprocessor is a programmable multi-purpose silicon chip. It is a clock-driven, register-based. It accepts the binary data as input and it provides the output after processing. So it provides the output as per processing as per the instructions stored in the memory. The brain of a computer is the microprocessor, which mainly consists of arithmetical and logical unit, that is ALU, control unit, and an array of registers. ALU performs all arithmetic and logical operations on the data received from either the input devices or the memory. What do you mean by register array? A series of registers, they are like accumulators A, B, C, D, etc. that acts as temporary fast access memory locations for processing the data. The control unit controls the flow of instructions and data throughout the system. Microprocessor takes input from the input devices, processes the data as per the instructions given in the memory, and it produces the output. Normally, there are three different types of buses in any microprocessor system. It has got an address bus, the data bus, and the control bus. So these three buses from the microprocessor is connected to the ROM, RAM, and the input outputs. So what do you mean by buses? The electrically conducting path along which data is transmitted inside any digital electronic device is called as a bus. A bus mainly consists of a set of parallel conductors. So they may be the conventional wires, copper or copper tracks on a printed circuit board. Each wire carries just one bit of data, so the number of wires determines the largest data word the bus can transmit. A bus with 8 wires can carry only 8-bit data, and hence it defines the device as an 8-bit device. Connection lines, which are used to connect the internal parts of the microprocessor chip, we call it as a bus. There are three types of buses in a microprocessor: data bus, address bus, and the control bus. So the data bus carries data associated with the processing of the CPU. Word length used for a data bus may be 4, 8, 16, 32, or 64 bit. Each wire in a bus carries a binary signal, either 0 or 1. The more the wires, the more the data bus carries, the longer the word length that it can carry. Earlier microprocessor was a 4-bit device which was used in toys, washing machines, etc. Now we are using 16-bit, 32-bit, and 64-bit microprocessors. The lines that carry data to and from memory are called data buses. Data bus is a bidirectional bus with width equal to the word length of the microprocessor. So data bus, it is a directional bus, a bidirectional bus. It carries data into the memory or from the memory into the microprocessor. So here we have a data bus which is running from microprocessor to the ROM, RAM, as well as input-output devices. Address bus. The address bus carries signals which indicate where the data is to be found. That is, in the memory location or the input-output ports. Each memory location has got unique identification termed as address, so that system can select the particular data in the memory. When particular address is placed on the address bus, only that particular memory location is open to communicate with the CPU or the microprocessor. A computer with 8-bit data has typically 16-bit address bus, that is 16 wires. So CPU can address 2 to the power 16 locations, that is 65536 or 64K locations. It is unidirectional. So address bus is unidirectional. It is responsible for carrying addresses of memory locations or input-output port from CPU to memory or input-output port. So here the address bus is unidirectional. It carries address of the particular memory location, and that particular memory location is open to communicate with the microprocessor. Control bus. This bus carries signals relating to the control action. The lines which carry control signals like clock signals, interrupt signals, or ready signals are called control bus. Signals that denote that a device is ready for processing is called ready signal. Signal that indicates to a device to interrupt its process is called as an interrupt signal. So here we have a data bus, here we have a control bus. So the control bus is going to have the control over each and is going to have control over ROM, RAM, or input-output devices with that of the microprocessor. Cache memory is a random access memory that is integrated into the processor. The processor can access the data in the cache memory more quickly than from a regular RAM. It is also known as CPU memory. Cache memory is used to store data or instructions that are frequently referred by the software or the program during the operation. It increases the overall speed of the system. Microprocessor uses clock signals to control the rate at which the instructions are executed. It synchronizes other internal components and also to control the data transfer between them. Clock speed refers to the speed at which the microprocessor executes the instructions. It is usually measured in hertz and it is expressed in megahertz or gigahertz. Coming on to the architecture of a microprocessor. Microprocessor is generally called CPU. Microprocessor processes the data, fetches the instructions from the memory, decodes the instructions taken from the memory, and executes them. Important parts of a microprocessor are arithmetic and logic unit, timing and control unit, and the registers. So this is the architecture of a microprocessor. It mainly contains the arithmetic and logic unit and the different types of registers like flag register, stack point register, general register, accumulator, program counter, then instruction decoder and the register, control unit, and they are connected by address buses, data buses, and the control bus. Address bus, data bus, and the control bus. Arithmetic and logic unit. The arithmetic and logic unit of a microprocessor performs the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, comparison, and logic operations like AND, OR, NOR, XNOR, etc. Timing and the control unit. Timing and the control unit. It generates timing and control signals which are necessary for the execution of the instructions. It controls the data flow between CPU and the peripherals, including the memory. It controls the entire operations of a microprocessor and the peripherals connected to it. Registers, digital devices which are used by the microprocessor for temporary storage and the manipulation of data and instructions. We call them as the registers. Data remains in the registers till they are sent to the memory or input-output devices. Register uses D flip-flops, but JK flip-flops are also commonly used. The first one is the accumulator register. Data to be input to the ALU is temporarily stored in the accumulator register. Then status or flag register. The status or flag register contains the information regarding the result of latest process carried out in ALU. It contains the individual bits called the flags. The status of the latest operation is indicated by each flag here. Program counter register. It allows the CPU to keep track of a program. It contains the address of memory location that contains the next program instructions. Memory address register. So the memory address register contains the address of the data. Instruction register. It stores the instructions after fetching it from the memory. General purpose registers. It is used as a temporary storage for data or address and used in the operation involving transfer between various other registers. Stack point register. It stores the program counter values when subroutine program is executed. So let us see a video on a microprocessor.
I'm gonna start this video with a weird statement. Imagine you have to function without a brain. Well, that sounds downright impossible, right? Even while these words are being said, they're being registered into your brain for understanding and processing. Just like how the brain serves as the functioning mechanism in your body, a microprocessor serves as the functioning mechanism of a computer. In other words, these microprocessors are the brain of your computer, your mobile phone, and most other electronic devices that you may use in your day-to-day life. In this video, you will come across a brief introduction to microprocessors. Now, let me ask you a simple question. Do you think that our fans and tube lights have a microprocessor in them? If your answer is no, well, you guessed it right. Why do you think that? Well, this is because they don't require any processing in them. You basically switch it on and your fan starts rotating at the speed at which it is set. Similarly, a tube light starts emitting light when it is switched on. Then what are the other areas in which microprocessors are used? Microprocessors are used in any equipment that requires some sort of processing to be done. From the traffic light to remotes to our computers, all have microprocessors in them. These processors have an algorithm and they work in a previously programmed manner according to the instructions given. Now, you must be wondering, where and how did the invention of microprocessors take place? Well, microprocessors were first invented 50 years ago at a young Silicon Valley startup called Intel. The first microprocessor was the Intel 4004, invented in 1971, and it was a 4-bit processor. It was soon succeeded by Intel 8008 in 1972, and since then, the development in microprocessors has been huge. Back in 2018, Intel released its i9-9900K, which is a 9th gen processor and was claimed to be the fastest gaming processor in the world by Intel at that time. Now, coming to the components of the microprocessor, they are divided into 3 basic segments: the ALU, registers, and a control unit. Each of these has a specific predefined role. The first component, that is the ALU or arithmetic logic units, are the building blocks. They perform all mathematical and logical calculations on the data that has been fed into it. The mathematical calculations include addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. And the logical calculations are the AND or and NOT operations. Next, we have the registers. The registers are temporary data storage locations in the microprocessor. Depending upon the need, they either hold data or point in the direction where the data is located. Registers are divided into 3 categories, namely general purpose registers, specific registers, and memory registers. Depending on the need, data can be stored or extracted from them accordingly. The control unit controls the operation in the microprocessor. It dictates how the internal memory of the computer should respond to the given instructions and controls the flow of data between the microprocessor and the system. The microprocessor is further connected to the input devices, memory unit, and the output devices. The input devices are used to feed information into the microprocessors. The memory unit is the internal storage unit of the microprocessor. It is commonly known as the RAM. This unit stores all data and information that is required for processing. It also stores intermediate results of programming. Finally, we have the output devices. The output devices provide the results of the data that has been computed by the processor. The output can be in multiple forms. It can be in visual form when you consider the monitor of your computer, or it can be in an audible form when you consider the speaker of your computer. Next, let us discuss how the microprocessor works. The working of a microprocessor follows a simple fetch, decode, and execute cycle. In this, the microprocessor first fetches the function to be executed from the memory. Now, the instruction is present in an encoded form in the memory. After it's been decoded, the control unit of the processor then passes these decoded instructions to be executed. This cycle continues till a stop instruction is reached or till the program ends. Well, that's it for this video, guys.
So after the completion of this session, you should be able to know what is a microprocessor, what are all the different types of buses, and the architecture of a microprocessor. So these are the references. Coming to the multiple choice question, what is true about microprocessor? Microprocessor is a controlling unit of a microcomputer. It is fabricated on a small chip capable of performing arithmetic logical operations. It also communicates with the other devices connected to it, all of the above. And the answer is D, all of the above. Microprocessor consists of ALU, register array, control unit, all of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. The dash controls the flow of data and instructions within the computer. Control unit, register array, accumulator, ALU. The answer is A, control unit. Which of the following is not a feature of a microprocessor? Versatility, reliability, low bandwidth, low power consumption. The answer is C, low bandwidth. The microprocessor dash these instructions from the memory: fetch, decode, execute, none of the above. It is A, the microprocessor fetches those instructions from the memory. It determines the number of operations per second, bandwidth, word length, clock speed, operations speed. The answer is C, the clock speed. Clock speed is also known as clock rate, clock length, clock set, clock type. The answer is A, clock rate. An 8-bit microprocessor can process dash data at a time. It can process 8-bit data at a time. The number of bits processed in a single instruction is known as instruction set, bandwidth, band speed, instruction speed. The answer is B, bandwidth. What is false about microprocessor? The microprocessor is of small size chip, hence is not portable. Microprocessor chips are available at low prices. Microprocessors are versatile. Failure rate of an IC in microprocessor is very low. The answer is A. The microprocessor is of small size chip, hence is not portable. Okay, thank you.